Hey, and welcome to our Wednesday night broadcast. Thank you so much if you're catching us live, and also welcome if you're catching us on the rebroadcast. Tonight, we are going to be talking about why you shouldn't just give keto a try. And when I'm saying keto, I'm talking about the ketogenic type of lifestyle or the philosophy of following a ketogenic diet. If you're jumping on with us live, please take a second to leave me a comment in the comment section so that I know that you are here with us. And at the end of my discussion, I can welcome you to the conversation and to the community. Also, if you are joining us for the first time, please take a second to hit that subscribe button on YouTube or that like button on Facebook so that you will be part of our community. And you also want to make sure you get those notifications turned on. I know there have been a couple of women who've been really frustrated not knowing when we go live, and that is probably just the fact that you haven't turned your notifications on. For YouTube, that's just a little bell icon. Just hit that, and on Facebook, you just hit those little three dots, and then you can kind of decide how you want to be notified when we post stuff in this community. If you're catching us on the rebroadcast, also please pop in and leave me a comment. That way I know you caught us on the rebroadcast as well. My name is Diane, and in this community, we are practicing a intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle so that we can look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. I have been doing this in the health and fitness industry for the past 25 years, really helping women fine-tune what they're doing in their nutrition and finding some fitness that they can really connect to so that they can make the changes that they want in their bodies and eventually look and feel their best while creating a lifestyle that allows them to live authentically. Tonight we are going to be talking about why you shouldn't just give keto a try. Why, we see all these comments in our Facebook feeds or Instagram feeds, or we're seeing all these YouTube videos about the ketogenic diet. You see varying styles of people and looks of people and demographics of people and different genders and age groups trying the ketogenic diet. And it makes us excited about just jumping in and giving it a try ourselves. And I've seen, I think I counted 6 girlfriends of mine this week post in their Facebook feeds that they were just going to give it a try. And it makes me kind of gasp and go into a little bit of a state of panic because the ketogenic diet is something that we should really pay attention to and give it its due respect. It's not something that we just want to give a try, like, an espresso at Starbucks or a certain, dinner on a menu at a restaurant. Like, I'll just go give that a try. The ketogenic diet can really affect how our body's metabolism operates. It can really mess with our hunger hormones. It can make us in a state of maybe retaining water and then putting on some weight, which could freak you out. And if you're not really understanding the carbohydrate to fat switch over, it can really put you in a tizzy, even emotionally, with how you're handling food. So the ketogenic diet is not something, or even the keto lifestyle isn't something that you should just kind of like, heck, I'm going to do it for a week and kind of see what happens sort of philosophy, because you really could end up wreaking havoc on your system, metabolically, emotionally, physically, and even, mentally, some of the things that you're going to go through if you're not understanding the hows and the whys of such an approach. The keto lifestyle is really, or the ketogenic diet is a high fat, moderate to low protein, very low carbohydrate diet. If you're following the ketogenic diet by the book, that's what you have to follow. Very, very little carbohydrates. And so if you're not managing that and you're just kind of jumping into consuming a bunch of fat and you're not understanding what moderate to low protein is, and you eliminate all of what you think are the obvious carbohydrates, then you might be disappointed in the results that you're going to end up getting. And what happens a lot of times when we jump in things, we jump out to them very quickly, and we jump out of them in a worse state than when we even started. Because when you're eliminating some necessary things from your body, or you're eliminating the things that really do bring you joy in your life, and you go super strict on something, you're putting your body into that extreme reactionary state. And then when you jump out just as quickly, you put your body into that extreme reactionary state again, and you're going to really see some drastic changes in your body that you're probably not going to be very happy with. So I always recommend, if you're thinking about getting into this type of lifestyle, or you're considering, maybe easing into a ketogenic diet, I always recommend that you do some research. I recommend that the person that you're going to follow in this type of behavior, or lifestyle or eating philosophy, is modeling the same goals that you're aspiring to achieve for yourself, and making sure that you're doing it in a way that is paced for you to get the results that you want to see. The ketogenic diet is not a quick fix weight loss. It is not a quick fix fat loss, and it's not a quick fix diet. It really is, or meant to be, a philosophy and a way of eating where you're reducing your carbohydrates to a level where they're not causing negative reactions or responses in your body anymore. And what we've really found here in this community is that when you're incorporating something like intermittent fasting, which is what we do here, and a keto-like lifestyle, that you really can have a lifestyle that is super fun to live, and you will be able to see some of the benefits that both of those lifestyles can bring to you without having to go super, super extreme on the keto side of things. And I have really experimented with going keto by the book myself, and every time I experiment with that, because I think, gosh, what am I missing here? Why is everybody so hyped about this? And every single time I've just tried the keto diet, it always backfires on me. It's like it's too extreme of a way of living for my body. And I'm just an average 52-year-old woman, but it's always something that I go, God, why did I even think that? Because the negative things that happen to me and the extremes that I have to put my body in always send me in sort of a backwards tailspin, where I have to then rebound from what I was doing that I really enjoyed doing. And that is incorporating the best of intermittent fasting with some of the best concepts of living a keto-like lifestyle together, can really yield you some amazing results as a woman, especially as an aging woman, without having to be so extreme. And so for my friends, if you're watching, who have, posted this week that you're thinking about jumping into the keto diet, I strongly, strongly recommend that you do a lot of research on it, that you understand the foundations of what living this type of lifestyle would be, and you understand the pros and cons of it. You often see the pros publicized, but we don't often see the cons of it. And there are some cons for a lot of people if you're not really understanding the gist of what the ketogenic diet can do for you. And even there are a lot of people who follow the ketogenic diet who do kind of cycle in and out of it, because it is a very difficult way to live. And if you're not following it the way it's prescribed to be followed, then you can have some of those backfires hit you. And then as women, I myself included, we tend to emotionally sink into that, that feeling of I failed at something, or we start to get into that negative self-talk, because that's not what's being publicized. And we don't talk about the negatives of something, we only talk about how we benefited from it. So please do your research. Please understand what living a ketogenic lifestyle is. If you're going to go extreme with ketogenic dieting, I highly recommend that you do monitor, what's going on with your blood and your ketones, so that you know that you're actually doing the right things that's going to get you into ketosis. Otherwise, you will be kind of lingering in that state of not really burning fat efficiently and still be burning sugar as your primary source. And again, you're not going to get those results. And then what happens is you just went on a diet, right? And what we're trying to do here in this community especially is end dieting for us forever. So if you're going to just jump into something to give it a try and see if it works for you, that's a dieter's mentality. And what will happen is you might see a result on the short end of things, but the long end of things, you could wreak havoc, like you said, to your metabolism. You're going to send your hormones in a tizzy. That sends us into that psychological and emotional disappointment, where then we just failed at another diet. And that's really not the road we want to go down. So there's lots of information out there. There's lots of research out there. I strongly recommend that you go in it both feet in, that you really give it a go by understanding what the nutritional demands are of that, and consider doing something that might be able to get you the best of both worlds. And that's incorporating just a little bit of fasting in there and just modifying that ketogenic diet so you can have some social and some everyday kind of lifestyle opportunities with what you're doing with your nutrition without having to go so extreme. And that really has helped. I know myself and a lot of women in this community as well, to be able to kind of get rid of that dieting mentality and that success failure sort of judgment that we put on ourselves when something doesn't work the way it worked for everyone else. So be careful, because it is a diet and it is something that you have to follow pretty strictly in order to get the results that are being publicized. And then if you're going to jump into something, make sure that you're jumping into it with someone who's modeling it in a way that represents the lifestyle that you're living and is after the same type of goals that you're after. So you're not going to be chasing down a road that you probably will never achieve if they're not in the same sort of grouping of goals that you're in as well. So I hope
you want to explain your sweat ring on your shirt.
Oh, my sweat ring. Can you still see
Yeah.
it? So Michael and I just finished working out. So my hair's a little sweaty still, and I got a little bit of sweat here, so I apologize for that. But we had an opportunity to catch a really quick 30-minute workout. So I just jumped off of my treadmill where I worked out. I got a great workout for 30 minutes, and Michael jumped off the Peloton bike. And we were super excited because we usually work out in the morning, but we've just been doing a bunch of research on brain health, and we decided to catch a little bit of a cardio workout so that we can get some blood flowing to our brain, which is a great healing opportunity for our brains. And then we're going to sleep tonight with a really energized, healthy brain that's just got pumped up with a bunch of oxygenated blood. So we got to work out really quick. So that's why I have a little sweat here and why I'm looking a little bit sweaty right now. And then when we get done, we're going to take the dog for a walk. So we're going to get a little bit more movement before we shower and go to bed for the evening. So let me hit YouTube first, Michael, if you don't mind reading those comments, and then Facebook, I'll jump in and answer your questions and comments there as well.
Okay, we have Jessica Salas. She says hi.
Hey, Jessica.
And Bart Foltz, hello. And Fun with Grandma says hello.
Wow, she sounds like someone I want to hang out with.
Yep. Deborah L. Mendani says hi. I think I said her last name right. Tina Stanis.
Just say your first name.
Staniskaya. I think I said that right. Good evening from New York, everyone. Hi, Diane and Michael. I have done what you suggested, not watching any other YouTubers or Facebook folks regarding IF and or keto. Just focused on your course.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Hopefully you're being able to fine tune on what you need as well when you do that. And when you're in my course, I do recommend that you just hone in on you for 3 weeks and take away a little bit of that outside clutter of noise that we often get locked into. And when I was on my own personal journey with intermittent fasting, I did the same thing. I shut out all the other distractions and all the other advice and all the others. You can do this and you can do that and you can do this. And I just honed in on what I was doing. And it really did help me put both feet in and just trust the system and learn how to listen to my own body. And when I tried something and it didn't feel good, I didn't do it again. And when I tried something and it felt amazing, I wrote notes about it. And that's really how we came about this community, and the course that we teach is just by shutting everything else out and listening to ourselves. And that's really the best way that we can make some progress with what we're trying to do. So thank you for taking my advice, and hopefully it's working for you.
One of our Canadian peeps, Willow Schaefer, says hi from Toronto, Canada.
Hey, girlfriend.
And Jennifer T, hi Diane and Michael. Is there a link to buy your Do Nothing, Embrace Everything shirts?
There is, but the store's closed right now. We're going to reopen it in a couple months. So if you're on our email list, don't worry. Every time we open up the store, we send an email out. So just make sure you're on our email list, and then you'll be notified when we get the store open back up. So thanks for asking about that.
Yvonne Sanchez, should you be fat adaptive before you fast?
What is, you mean like, should you start practicing something before you start practicing intermittent fasting? No, you don't have to be fat adapted before you start fasting. Fasting will help you get there. But what you should start doing is really being conscious about what carbohydrates that you're depending on and where they fall in your day, and start cutting out some unnecessary carbohydrates so that when you start fasting and you start getting into more of that keto-like lifestyle, it will be a slower process and not just a complete sugar detox. So hope that's what you were asking.
Robin Ray says hi. Barb Volts, NF3 and like keto life much better.
Me too.
Christy Sams, hello from KC. Miss T, 1904, hi from Australia. Yeah, we haven't been seeing our Australian peeps as much.
I know, summertime. Oh, it's probably wintertime there, right? Maybe.
Not sure.
Okay.
Betty Boot, hi Diane and Michael. Thank you for all you do. I am on the upward learning curve. All thanks to you.
Awesome.
That's awesome. So that's it from here.
Okay, cool. So Verna's here, Deb is here, Debani, good to see you, girlfriend. Haven't seen you in a while. Janet, finally able to stay up and watch live. Woo! Glad to have you with us. Jane, hello. Shannon, hello. Elvis, hi Diane, finally made it. Sherry, oh Sherry, okay. I must be Elvis and Sherry. So Sherry, it's good to see you here. Sheila, hello. Bev, in July course, my life is changing. Hey, yes, change is possible even at 68. I'm feeling great, thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Bev. Yeah, change is possible at any age. So it's all just about tuning in to what our body is telling us and then responding accordingly. So congratulations, Bev. I'm so excited for you. Janet, in my opinion, it's a lifestyle and a commitment. Yeah, absolutely. Sherry, she's congratulating you, Bev. So thanks for sharing, Bev. Jennifer, hello from West Virginia. Janet, yeah, it must be Bev. You're getting all kinds of congratulations. Let's see. Melissa, hey, girlfriend. Nellie made it to a live. I always love when you guys make it to the live. It's so fun. Pam, I'm glad to hear someone else says 100% keto isn't for them. Yeah, and here's the deal. Some people, 100% keto is for some people. Absolutely. I see a lot of people who are thriving there. It's just not for everyone. And so you don't have to 100% go ketogenic to benefit. And that's what I really like to stress here is that you can adapt some likeness of keto and really incorporate some good fasting protocols and techniques, and you can get some really great results. So you have to find your happy place with food. And I think especially women in the dieting kind of mentality of things, is that we have been restricted from so many things. I mean, look how long we went without eating fat, and how many things we've had to excuse ourselves from and say no thank you to because we were following some diet plan. And what we really encourage here is to have some flexibility and go on vacation and enjoy where you are, and know that you can always incorporate some fasting and cut out a lot of unnecessary filler foods and create a lifestyle that's really, really enjoyable that can get you some really great health results. So yeah, you don't have to, it's not an all or nothing for sure. Pam, Jennifer, the keto-like lifestyle I prefer the keto-like lifestyle over 100% keto. Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer, and dieting forever. Absolutely. Karina, thank you for streaming. Oh, you're welcome, girlfriend. Thanks for being here. Pam, so do you yourself eat carb conscious? If so, do you try to eat it under a certain amount? Okay, so yes, I'm very conscious about my carbs, and I mentally sort of now, because I've read so many labels, and we stick to a very repetitive eating sort of pattern in our house. So I try to cycle between, this week I went really, really low carb, and I haven't really enjoyed it, and I've probably been under 50 grams a day. I think some days probably under 30, and I don't like it. But I just wanted to see if I could do it and how I would feel, and I don't like it at all. I mostly stay probably between 50 and 100, and some days I'm more at 50, and some days I'm more at 100. It kind of just depends on what our lifestyles has going on and what we're doing with the kids and stuff like that. Now, when the kids go back to school, I'm probably more fasted than I am feasted carb watching, but I'm feasting in such a short period of time, and most of my carbs are going to come from vegetables. So I've just cut out a lot of the snacky unnecessary food. Is the best way that I could control what I do consciously with my carbs. Shelly, thank you for streaming. Oh, you're welcome, girlfriend. Tammy, just love how real you are. Thanks, girlfriend. I appreciate that. Deborah from Toronto. Verna, trying the keto, but so hard to understand how much of what, etc. Yeah. And that's where I think a lot of people get tripped up, and you don't have to go buy a bunch of fancy food. Just eat real food. and incorporate real food back into your life. And if you practice the fasting part of it, then eating vegetables isn't a problem, and having an occasional piece of seasonal fruit isn't going to kill anybody. But we really want to get out of that mentality that we have to eat a certain set of things a day, or we have to go and get some keto type food. You don't have to do any of that. Just eat high fat, moderate to low protein, be very conscious about your carbohydrates, and give yourself an opportunity to just fast a lot of that built up sugar and those extra carbs that you've eaten in the past. Give that an opportunity to kind of burn away. That's the best way to go about it, is what I would say. Sherry, I find that I am comfortable feasting 24. I break my fast with a good meal like salmon and kale, or like today, broccoli, cauliflower, sweet potato, quinoa bowl. That sounds amazing. And then I typically not hungry anymore. Is that normal? I drink a lot of Mountain Valley water all day. I see that a lot of women break fast with olives. Should I be stopping with something similar? No, it's all personal. So there's some days where maybe I had a really intense workout or something and I'm hungrier than usual. I might have some olives just to kind of satiate me, so that when I open up my feast for real, I'm not like ravenously stuffing myself with food. And if you feel full in your feasting window, that means that your hunger hormones are doing their job. So you should get to a point where you feel satiated, and if you're eating the right amounts of foods, it usually the right types of foods, it usually happens sooner than later. And if you've been fasting correctly, your body's technically feasting all day anyway. It's feasting on your dead protein cells, it's feasting on your fat. So you don't need as much food in your feasting window, because your body's been feasting on food that you've eaten over the years and you've just stored away in your body as fat. So it's perfectly normal to be satisfied with that. Susan, so grateful to be part of the July course. Feels so much better. Awesome, Susan. I'm so happy for you. Sherry from New Mexico. Amanda, I want to do this course again while I'm in school to keep me focused. Yeah, Amanda, jump in anytime for sure. Just reach out to us. We'll get you the information. Teresa, I just love the keto-like lifestyle. Yeah, us too. Carol, eating low carb and doing IF for 2 weeks, down 9 pounds. My husband's blood glucose is down from 200 to 108. That's amazing. I think under 100 is where you want to be, so he's almost there. Congratulations, Carol. That's awesome. You probably just saved your husband's life, so that's amazing. Nellie, I fast 24 and my body doesn't like meat much, so keto-like is great for my body. My body's response to very low carbs, high fats, and moderate protein. Love how I feel in my skin right about now. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And Nellie, you're so welcome. Yeah, I've been less and less attracted to meat lately too. Like I can go without meat and I'm totally fine. So it's amazing how when we really get things settled down in our bodies and we really get on a good cycle of concentrating on the nutrients we put in our body and not just eating, then it's amazing what our body turns to and what it starts to recognize that it needs. And I feel like I don't need as much meat either, and I actually take a couple days a week where I go completely meatless, and I love it. But then I have days where I kind of crave meat too. So I'm not vegan 100%, and I'm not vegan for any kind of reasons other than I just don't always want to eat meat. But when I don't eat meat, I have to admit I do feel pretty good. Verna, you're welcome, girlfriend. Anything else over there, Michael?
Yeah, it's T1904 said yes, it is winter in Australia.
Yep, thought so.
And Zoe Blue, I haven't seen that name in a while.
I know.
She says hello.
Missed you, girl.
Nicole Scott, hi. Nicole from Michigan, love your videos, very inspirational. And Nicole also says she's a newbie to the channel.
Awesome. Make sure you subscribe, girlfriend, and hit that little bell so you'll know when we go live.
And Aries777, how long do you fast and how many meals?
Okay, so everyone's different, but there's some days where I fast 20 something hours and I'll have one meal, and then there's days I fast 16 hours and might have 2 meals. There's days I fast for 18 hours, and in that 18 hours I could eat 3 times. It all just kind of depends on how my body's feeling, what I'm doing with my fitness, and kind of where I want with my goals. When I was sick, so when I was pre-diabetic and insulin resistant, I fasted every day religiously for 20 hours with only water and black coffee in my fast, and I feasted on 2 meals. I broke my fast with the same thing every day, and then I would have dinner with my family. So my fasting and feasting has changed as my body's changed, for sure.
And I have Kathleen Pierce. Hi, Diane. FYI, I didn't get the package you sent yet.
Okay, let me check into that for you.
And Aries777 again, she says, thank you. I'm fasting more now that I'm adapted.
Awesome. Yeah, so when you become fat adaptive, it's easier to fast because your body will actually eat off your stored fat to energize you. We call that the energized sense of calm. So the beginning stages is a little bit tricky because you have to get through the tough days where you're switching over from being a sugar burner to a fat burner, but that's what we teach in the course. So again, if you're going to jump into something like this, make sure you have some good solid information about the hows and the whys and the whats are going to happen to you, because there are some things that are going to happen when your body shifts from one energy source for burning energy to another, and what does that feel like, and what are you going to go through, and is that normal, is that not normal, what are some things that you can do to head that off. You want to make sure you have all that information available to you before you just jump in, for sure. And then make sure you're not 100% not following someone else's meal plan or nutrition guidelines 100% to a T. You want to create your own based on where you live, based on what you have financially, and even like availability wise, resources as far as what you can get for yourself. And then make sure that you are including some things in your nutritional life that are fun for you and satisfying for you, because life's too short to eat food you don't want to eat. And so you have to find a happy medium between all of that, and then make sure that you're going to head toward the goals that you're setting for yourself. So there's a lot to consider before you just jump into a lifestyle because someone you saw on the internet looked good, or because someone you saw on the internet said this was the only way you were supposed to go. You have to factor in your own personal beliefs and your resources and what it is that you want for yourself as well.
So that's it over here, and Kathleen Pierce was
Kathleen Pierce.
for
Okay,
the package.
I'll look. I'll research that for you, Kathleen, and then I'll get back to you for sure. And then Desiree, for fat loss, do you recommend working out right when you wake up in a fasted state or during your feasting window? There's all kinds of philosophies on when to work out when you're fasted. So, and a lot of it has to do with, again, it has to do with your schedule, availability of workout places or times. It has to do with what it is you're doing. So a lot of people feel like, I love to do cardio like first thing in the morning, and I dirty fast. So because I like to do cardio and I like to do hard cardio, and I need to feel energized when I do that. And so I like to do that in the morning. Tonight I did it after I ate, so I did it feasted, and I felt fine. So the biggest thing about working out and this type of lifestyle is you have to incorporate some sort of system for yourself where you're just going to be successful at working out. When we get so caught up in the perfect time or the perfect workout or the perfect this or perfect that it becomes so cumbersome that we never even get anything done. So I say work out when you can work out. And if it happens to be on a day when you're fasted, that's great. And if you have to do it some days when you're feasted, like that's fine too. If you're working out in a fasted state, you're probably going to get to that fat burning state faster because you're already kind of, you don't have a whole lot of glycogen available, hopefully, if you're fasting and feasting correctly. So you might get to a fat burning state faster that way. But it feels different when you're working out in a fasted state. So are you going to work out hard enough or long enough to achieve a fat burning state? There's a lot of different variables there. So my advice with working out is find a workout that you absolutely enjoy doing, so you'll wake up every day wanting to work out, and then do it when it's convenient for you and schedule it in your day when you're going to be most successful at it. If you have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to fit in a workout because someone says it's more efficient in the morning, that might not be ideal for you, and it might not last the long haul. So we vary ours up. Sometimes I work out first thing in the morning. Sometimes I work out in the end of my fast. Sometimes I work out when I'm feasted. I work out when I can work out. And I appreciate the availability that I have to do that on the days that sometimes it's just difficult to just get a workout in. So I know that was a long answer, kind of a roundabout answer, but I hate to say anything so definitive because it doesn't always work for people. And a workout in a least favorable time of a fast is better than no workout at all. So do your best to just get your workouts in. How do you feel about all the keto desserts that use sugar alternatives? You know what? I say you do you, and if that works for you, I think that's great. There's a lot of sugars alternatives that have been tested. Some take you out of ketosis, some don't take you out of ketosis, some taste horrible, some make you have digestive problems. find your thing. And if desserts are your thing, then allow yourself some flexibility to fit them in every now and then. Again, that goes back to that thing of if you're so hard fast and making it perfect and you cut desserts out forever, you're probably going to be miserable if you enjoy them. We often have chocolate in our house. We eat chocolate that's the best chocolate that we can find. We get it with no soy. We try to get as little sugar and as little preservatives and stuff in it. But I love having a piece of chocolate. So we've just found the chocolate that works best for us. There's nights that we go out and we have frozen yogurt with our kids. We just fit it in. So you got to find your jam. And if you can find a dessert that has a sugar alternative in it that works for you, and it's something that brings you pleasure and makes you feel like you're living your most authentic life, then do your thing. Just make sure that it's the best version of whatever dessert it is for you in your life. Is the best thing I can say on that one. Let's see. Deborah, today I had black coffee only in the morning, busy all day with lots of walking and didn't feel hungry. I just finished eating a delicious bowl of steamed broccoli with lemon and salt. I love broccoli with lemon. It's so good. However, now I'm craving a salty something like potato chips. What's that about? I don't know. Why don't you, like a salty, crunchy something? I'm trying to think of what you could do. Why don't you just have some salt? Why don't you just take some salt and put it in your mouth and see if that changes it? And since you're in your feast, chew a piece of gum or something, or go brush your teeth, have some water, and go do something and see if that craving kind of goes away. So just kind of change your mind about what it is you're doing and see if that craving goes away. Shannon, can you explain dirty fasting? So dirty fasting is when you don't necessarily consume food, but you put something in your body, one, to either enhance what you're trying to do in your fat burning, supplement what you're trying to do with your fasting, or something that you're going to do to intensify a workout session. So sometimes people, when they're fasting, they'll do like their fat coffee. So put some butter in coffee or something like that. Well, butter is not clean fasting, so that would be a dirty fast. Or if you're taking some sort of workout supplement, there's a lot of workout supplements that enhance what it is you're trying to do in your fat burning state, or what it is you're trying to do in your basically your keto-like lifestyle. You can do that too. It's called dirty fasting. But I don't recommend dirty fasting until you've really gotten your body to the point where it's healed. So if you're haven't gone through like that energy switch over, so if you're not really transitioned from a sugar burner to a fat burner and you're dirty fasting, then you're just sort of prolonging your agony. So you have to go through a good 2 or 3 weeks of really clean fasting, getting to that energized sense of calm, really understanding what it is you're doing in your feasting window. Then you have some flexibility to build in some dirty fasting, and then you can just pick 1 or 2 days a week where you go back to clean fasting, and you'll still reap some pretty amazing benefits. It's sort of like, I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea about this, but it's diet cycling. So you're constantly changing things up, so your body's constantly guessing, and you can do that once you're healed. But if you're still trying to get your hormones balanced out and healed, I always recommend clean fasting for a set amount of time, for a set amount of period. Time and consistency is going to be on your side there. Get yourself healed, understand how you respond emotionally to food. Then you can kind of play with some things and start experimenting, and that's where this lifestyle really gets fun, is when you can really start playing around with days and see how your body responds to that. Angela, you're super welcome. Hopefully that explains dirty fasting. Shannon, and then Sherry, how do you feel about herbs incorporated with a fast feast lifestyle? I go to a holistic doctor and have a bunch of herbs that I stopped taking to do the course. Can I do both? I would say once you get through the 3 weeks of the course, yeah, add them back in and see how you feel, and understand why you're taking those herbs and what those herbs do for you, and just make sure that they're going to get you where you want to go. I don't have any personal opinions about anything you like people do. I think it's super personal. You got to do you. Essential oils, herbs. If you're going to a holistic doctor that you trust and she understands what it is that you want to do, then yeah, by all means, I would say do it. As long as it's going to get you to your goals and it's something that fits into your lifestyle, and it's working with what you want to do, is the best thing that I can best advice I like to give on that one. What's up, Michael?
Okay, we got RE777 again. She says, right, I go by how I feel. You had talked about that with her. And Zoe Blue, Diane, off topic, but love your hair and you just look great.
Oh, thank you, girlfriend. Post-workout here.
Kathleen Pierce, great words of wisdom. Thank you. And Kathleen also said thank you for your comments from earlier.
Awesome.
Terry Jordan saying hi. Class of April 18. Continuing to fast feast.
Yes.
Figure it out.
Yes, I love when you go through a course and then you're continuing on with this journey. It's amazing. Okay, so let me go. I want to touch.
One more comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Fresa Rojas. Hello, D. Working out fasted in the morning.
Yes.
Is it necessary to eat protein after workout or continue fasting?
Okay, well, again, there's two rules of thumb on our probably more than two, but I know of two, and two that I kind of believe in is yes, I guess you can supplement with some protein, but you have to be working out pretty hard to need protein back in your body or really going after a specific goal. So remember, when we're in a fasted state, our body knows it's smart enough to eat away at those dead and damaged protein cells. So when we put something right back into our body, we stop that opportunity from happening. So is it going to detour your goals if you don't put protein in your body 60 minutes between, after you work out? No, I don't always. There's some days I do and there's some days that I don't. I think sometimes we get so caught up in all that, and we end up over proteining our body. And we over protein our body, then we do stop the opportunity for some autophagy to happen, and then we get this build up and backup of protein. So I would say experiment with that. Think about what your goals are. Do some days where you don't. You can just continue with your fast after you work out. See how your body responds to that. Experiment with putting some protein in. And then see how that goes too. I think for women, the recommended dose or whatever grams of protein post-workout is like 20 grams. And you can get that from collagen peptides. So, put some collagen peptides in your coffee. You're good to go. Or, a really low protein sort of protein shake might be beneficial as well. But we don't have to protein up. The whole process of fasting and living this kind of lifestyle is to pull back on some of the things that we've overdosed our body with, and we've been such a pro-protein society that, trust me, there's probably enough protein in your body, and your body you actually want it to start eating away at some of that, and we don't give our bodies the opportunity to do that if we're constantly overstuffing protein in our system. So play around with it and find the best thing for you and what it is you're trying to do with your results, for sure. Teresa, I'm really loving your July course, doing very well. I'm making good food choices, but when I get comfortable to tweak, when will I get comfortable to tweak and try more foods or adding other carb choices? I don't know, Teresa, that's up to you. I would say give yourself a break for the 3 weeks. I mean, we still have a whole another week and a half of the course to go. Just keep going through the course, and I would say stay pretty status quo. Routine is not a bad thing when it comes to food, and I talk about that a lot here too. We repeat our meals constantly in our home, and we don't do anything super fancy, which is why you won't get recipes from me. And we rely on switching things up when we go out to eat. So I would say stick with what it is you're doing for the course duration, and then when you get out of the course, play around a little bit there, or maybe jump back in as a transitional student and do another round with us. And that way you can experiment with some things and get some support from other women in the group or from me, and then see what you can add to your arsenal of foods and carbs and stuff like that, and then play with it there for sure. But you have to build in a little bit of a window and a padding for some fun stuff. So, I love my chips and salsa, and I have my Siete tortilla chips. They're the grain-free tortilla chips, and they're very high carb, and I don't care. I'm gonna eat my carbs and have my salsa when we have them at home for what it is we're doing for a meal that night. That's going to be a higher carb day. I'm okay with that. And then there's going to be a day that comes along where we have a different type of lifestyle or a food thing going on in our house, and I might eat just steamed broccoli with some lemon and some salt, and that's going to be a lower carb day. So everything needs to sort of find its ebb and flow in your lifestyle, and then you got to build in a little bit of cushion and a little padding for those extra carb days, because life's just not fun without chips and salsa every now and then, or without a dessert every now and then, or whatever it is that you do with your people that you love and what you do socially that makes you happy. You just want to make sure that you have some boundaries set there, and that you're also putting in the flow with your ebb, and that you can pull back on some days and then make up for the days that you've gone just a little bit over socially. You got anything else over there, Michael?
Got nothing over here.
Awesome. Okay, so hopefully that helps out my girlfriends or my friends who think they're just going to jump into something and make magic happen. It is a little bit more serious than that, and really should be treated like something that you're really willing to do for your lifestyle, and that you're going to give it the due diligence that it needs so you can create a lifestyle for yourself. There's so many great benefits and so many great common sense things that go with the ketogenic diet, for sure. Like, lots of great health benefits. But the reality is that really strict lifestyle for a lot of people, especially if you have families, especially if you have kids, especially if you like going out, is hard to maintain. So building in the keto-like lifestyle and doing some intermittent fasting and really understanding the hows and whys and whats of something that's so strict can really give you an opportunity to create something that you can find some success in, and something that you'll be happy with, so you're not just dieting for a certain amount of time and then unhappy in the end when something doesn't work out for you the way it was publicized it was supposed to work out. If you're interested in jumping into our course, we have one starting on August the 4th. I would love to take you through what it is that we have in our amazing community. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I explain to you everything that you need to know about incorporating this type of lifestyle for yourself, so that you can really start digging in and reversing some of the things that have happened to us over the years with what we've done with dieting, what we've done about being misled about some food choices, and really giving your body an opportunity to reset its hormones so you can get rid of inflammation and that foggy brain and a lot of the things that we suffer from as we start to age. So August 4th is our next course. The link is everywhere, so definitely feel free to click on that, get some more information, and then worst case scenario, get on our email list. We send out lots of information about this lifestyle, lots of great food tips, and we share a lot of the testimonials of some of the other women that are going through our course. So maybe it'll just give you some inspiration and some hope to keep going on with whatever it is you're deciding to do for yourself. Thanks so much for jumping on with us. Catch us on Friday. I will be doing finishing chapter 8, chapter 9, and chapter 10 of the Grit book for our Book of the Month Club on Instagram. And then Michael will be jumping on our I Have Keto Family Life page on Friday afternoon at 3. And then just a little information about next week. Next week, we are going on a family trip with my son. It's his orientation weekend for college. So we will be gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So no live broadcasts Monday night next week or Wednesday night next week, but we'll make sure that we post some sort of video for you guys to watch, so you have something to come back and visit us with. But we will be with our son and our family on those 2 or 3 days, so we won't be here live, but we'll be broadcasting some good stuff on Instagram, I'm sure, in our Insta story. So make sure you're subscribed on Instagram as well, and we'll kind of share what it is we're doing with our son. It is college orientation. And then, as always, I'm an open book, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or drop me an email, and I'll do my best to get your questions answered. Thanks for jumping on live with us tonight, and thank you for catching the rebroadcast. We'll see you guys, I guess, in a week. Have a good week.